following program is intended for mature audiences.
Football fans, the time is now.
Give me a hell yeah!
For the football show you never knew you wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Broken Helmet.
And coming to you live on tape on this Thursday, August 13th, 2026. It is the Broken Helmet. It is the first day of NFL preseason, the first show of the year for us. And if you want to get in touch with the show, you can reach us at brokenhelmetshow@gmail.com. And you can also reach us at X at Broken Helmet Pod. Both there and YouTube, but we're primarily X. And to the stage, we bring the other Eggy, Christopher, as he has joined again for the first time this year, because this is the first program this year. So, Chris, how has the summer gone so far? We were both able to connect up at Saratoga, New York. We got all the Eggy boys together. We got almost a perfect picture. We had one Eggy child dip behind the legs of you. That was yours, of course. So we got
so pissed.
We got 5 of 6, but if you look, there are 6 sets of legs. So we're like one short of half dozen.
I don't know if I sent this to you, but you'll laugh. This is the only picture I got of all of us. Check your phone. There's one. We had about 30 pictures of, I don't know who is maybe
a whole bunch of these.
Oh, did I?
Oh yeah, I got this one, yes. And in this picture, I don't have this set up to share right now, but I can share it right here. So this is the picture of the Eggy men, and well, there's the the ring light in the background, so this is really terrible on the production side. However, you can see in a very fuzzy focus, that's all the kids, but my youngest son, Mason, is holding his oldest son, Christian, trying to get him in the picture. Meanwhile, Chris is holding Carter, and then it's me, Anthony, and our father there just staring into oblivion.
Look at Dad's face. Dad's face is like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
that's
great. As close as we got to a perfect picture, I guess. Actually, I think the other ones are more perfect. There's just a missing child.
Yeah, look at the disappointment in Anthony's face in this photo. Anthony's like, are you kidding? Guys, be adults. Be adults.
Staring. The one side of the picture is just 3 people staring at the other side of the picture being like, are we doing this? What the hell is going on? But unfortunately, it was just disaster. But so be it. So we were able to meet up at Saratoga. Had a good weekend. You've gone back down to Florida. We've gotten just destroyed up here for the past week with weather. We've never gotten this much rain before in our lives. And our father, all he does is talk about weather. And now I've just fully adopted those genes because it's all I fucking talk about. First NFL show of the year, and I'm fucking talking about weather. Like, what?
Within the first 5 minutes. There should be an over under for every show for when the weather comes up in conversation.
Well, it will come up because we usually are talking about the games and we're usually talking about wagering. So if weather is a factor, we'll talk about it. But here it was just, I can't get away from it. It literally is in my DNA. But on a side note, it has been rather monumental, the amount of rain we've gotten here in the Northeast. I live in northern Jersey, but northern Jersey, New York, Connecticut, the whole area. It's been crazy. Everybody's saying the same thing.
I've never seen the lake so high in my life. I couldn't believe how high it was.
Yeah, so when we went up to Saratoga, they had just gotten dumped with, I think, up to 10 inches of rain. And so the dock where we have a couple wave runners and an old school pontoon boat, the dock itself was just completely underwater because I guess they had, it came from an offshoot from a river that fed the lake. This would be Saratoga Lake. And it was a good 2 feet over the dock. And so when we were
Crazy.
taking everything out, we were standing on the dock underwater, trying to lift the kids up into the pontoon boat to get them going. It was a nightmare. It was just a whole nightmare. And you missed the whole day when I was just sitting there, just shoveling seaweed off the dock and just throwing it into a big pile. This was my only vacation of the year so far, was going up to Saratoga, shoveling seaweed on a dock that was 2 feet underwater.
Hey, me too.
Whatever. You haven't gotten away at all, other than that?
No.
Like Mike.
I apologize. We went to Marco Island for spring break, and that was like 2 days.
Okay. Well, it's something. I think I've gone down to the shore for a day. So, but anyway, 5 minutes in here, and all we yapped about is weather and busted vacations that nobody gives a shit about. So let's get into the NFL. 2026 is upon us. Tonight is we've already had one preseason game, being the Hall of Fame game, if you want to count that. Everybody had already, I guess, that the starting quarterback job for the Cardinals has already been decided. And I guess Jacoby Brissett lost that, even though he never played, all because of the Hall of Fame game, mind you. And so we've had one game, but tonight we get 6. So we get 6 games tonight. Although I've been trying to follow through X any kind of notes on who is going to play and who's not. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a mix mosh of some people are playing, some people are not. I just saw that Aaron Rodgers was not. Jordan Love looks like he is going to play. That's the game on NFL Network, being the Packers at the Steelers. The other 5 games that are scheduled for tonight are the Lions at the Bengals, Colts at the Patriots, Arizona at Las Vegas, although Carson Beck is not going to play in there. So the quarterback that had won it through one game is injured, and he's not playing.
Do you really think Carson Beck's going to be their starter?
No, I'm just making fun of everybody because they just said after one game that Carson Beck.
100%. I was going to comment on this already. Yeah, like, are you guys serious? Like, do I have to read another freaking article about Carson Beck going 15 for 18 in the Hall of Fame game?
Yes, you do. Because that's all anybody wants to talk about is how good he was. Carson Beck, you have an entire college resume that you could see. He doesn't get it done. I hope the best. I mean, more quarterbacks equals better NFL play. So it's what everybody wants. I don't even care about preseason, to be honest.
I mean, dude, he's not that bad, bro.
I don't know. Let's agree to disagree. I don't know. Like, there's some people that end up becoming great pros and they weren't great college players. You never know until you actually see them operate. I'm just not using the Hall of Fame game as a litmus test for somebody's career. And I'm definitely not making an argument he's got to be the starter. I mean, we talked about this for years on end now. The first 4 games of the NFL season is the official preseason, right? And the preseason and training camp is just junk. I mean, they're trying to get everybody in shape. They're hoping for no injuries, and they're trimming the bottom of the roster, and that's what training camp is. But the real preseason is the first 4 games, because that's when you really get to see what the hell's going on with these teams. But anyway, the final game that I did not mention, there were 2 of them, actually. The Chargers at the Texans, and then the Titans at the 49ers. So if you don't have the NFL app and are unable to watch everybody's going to be listening to this after the fact, but if you don't have the NFL app and subscribe to that, because through that you can get all the preseason games with their, I forget what it's called now, NFL Plus. Everything's a plus, but where you actually get the games afterward, where you can watch a condensed version. If you have that, you've always been able to watch all the preseason games. But if you're just watching on regular network television, NFL Network is giving you the Packers versus the Steelers. That game is taking place right now. And then at 9 o'clock, it is the Titans and the 49ers. So, that's where we stand.
Jordan Love, 1 for 1.
a little completion. So now the blood's pumping, right? You know, put it right there in the vein, and we got a little something going here. So that's a bonus. So we were talking about what we could do today. I figure we'll just get, the training wheels going here a little bit. We do usually in season, we'll do a show a week, sometimes more, but usually one show a week, and it's the wagering show where we do 4 downs and we'll do a recap of what we did the last week in terms of performance. Then the second down will be the big games of the week. Third down will be the rest of the docket, and the fourth down will be our wagers. We're not obviously not going to do that today because we're not wagering on preseason. I mean, if you want to, feel free, go ahead. But we could hit the four big stories going into the season. I think that makes sense, right? But actually,
yeah.
Before I do that, one of the games tonight is the Colts versus the Patriots, right? And
yeah,
Twitter, social, X, whatever, is just its own animal. And I had stayed away from it for years and years and years. Over the past 2-3 years, I've gotten, more involved and turned to it. And it is a better...
Gotten more involved? You're involved, bro. There's no more involved. You're involved. You post like it's your job.
Well, I mean, I'm working during the day, and if I can find some things to engage with and pass the time and keep my mind popping, I might as well, right? Although it is pretty funny to get originally blocked by Mina Kimes, like, okay, but then by Warren Sharp as well. I got to give myself an applause for that.
Good job.
By no intent. Like, I'm not trying to get, I'm just, shit posting because some of these people are just tough to take. So, have you seen his new hairdo?
Yes.
It's ridiculous, dude. He's got an alpaca. He looks like a high school kid.
I see his posts once in a while, but I really don't follow him that much.
Like,
he has a damn good following, man.
Oh, dude, his following is huge. And don't even try to say anything bad about him because they all come in. They're like Beyonce fans and Taylor Swifties and all that shit. Like, they all just come in and they're just like, oh, fuck you, buddy. Whatever it is. Right? All right. So that's Warren Sharp, right? So, first of all, it's not his real name. His real name is not Warren Sharp. His real name is Tyler something. I don't know what it is. But whatever. You want to go by a different name, it's not a problem. Who cares? The mustache, sure. If you want to make it your moniker and make it your thing, that's fine too. Because he's always been doing that. He's always been Warren Sharp, the guy with the mustache. But over this summer, he decided, or maybe even earlier, he decided to go and change his haircut. And he changed his haircut to the alpaca. And for anybody that has kids or younger siblings that are of the young, let's say the high school, grade school era, that's like the haircut those guys all wear. If you see pictures of young kids now, they all look the fucking same because they all have the same haircut. That might be a tale as old as time, but they wear this crazy curly hair that it's just called an alpaca, and that's his hairstyle now. And I'm like, what is a 40-year-old dude wearing an alpaca for? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, shave your head for Christ's fucking sake.
Oh, right? I fucking Nick Costas. Do you follow Nick Costas?
No, he's such a tool.
Oh, dude, come on. Get out of here. Nick Costas is solid, dude. Anyway, he shaved his head. And I actually wrote, I was like, hair. And he wrote, yeah, I buzz cut for the season.
You know who I have even more respect for now? Tony Romo. Fuck, do it, Tony. Just get hammered, drive around.
Dude, I mean, the question becomes, has he been getting hammered for just years?
Of course.
Right? Because, I don't know, some of the times that when you're listening to him, you're kind of like, Tony, a couple of cocktails maybe?
I still love him.
Oh, I have not liked him for quite a while. I just don't.
We're aware.
Yeah, I understand the value that he brought early on when he was calling when he was fresh out and he was calling plays before they were happening. And yeah, okay, a lot of people enjoy that. But as you've watched him as the years have gone on, that has just faded, dude. and his value add is just super low. I'm not.
He's better than Tom Brady.
Oh, Brady's horrible. Brady is awful. I mean, Brady is actually just. I mean, I can't believe they got rid. Now, I didn't like. I mean, there's just nobody I like. So
Greg Olsen was horrible too. So
I didn't like Olsen. Everybody liked Olsen. I mean,
Olsen sucks.
I didn't like him either, but everybody liked Olsen. I will say that Olsen is leaps and bounds better than Brady. Brady is just intolerable, only because he's boring and he's bad at it, and I don't know.
That's bullshit too, though, because you definitely liked Madden.
Yeah, I think, but didn't we all? I liked a lot of the old guys, and I think it's because they were kind of comfort food in the broadcasting booth, where they didn't do anything that would drive you nuts. They kind of just, the play-by-play guy told you what they were seeing on air, and then the analyst chimed in and gave you little, nuggets about this, that, and the rest. I mean, over the years, there were so many guys that, after the fact, people were like, that guy was terrible, and I was like, I didn't think he was that bad.
I like Aikman.
Aikman's fine. I have no problem with Aikman whatsoever. I can listen to Aikman. He's probably...
I can't listen to Collinsworth.
No, Collinsworth. I mean, again, there are very few broadcasting teams that I actually enjoy watching. I would rather watch with some kind of alternative broadcast. And I know they try them all over the place, but there are a lot. If you looked on X, there are a lot of people that like broadcast as the game's going on. Like
they do their own
through X. Yeah. The only thing that doesn't work is that I haven't figured out how to time it so that it matches with the game. So they're either forward or behind. So what I found is a lot of these spaces on X, what they'll do is they'll watch the game and they won't say anything until there's a commercial, right, or a big time break. And so then they'll all talk because it kind of kills that timing miscue. So, but yeah, I have trouble listening to the broadcast teams because I just haven't, I like a lot of the play-by-play guys. It is the color guys that I haven't just gotten up to speed with. But whatever.
Yeah. Here's a broken helmet post for you. Chuba Hubbard, Michael K reports. #Panthers. Chuba Hubbard has a hamstring injury. He's week to week, per Dave Canales. The Broken Helmet podcast responds. Fantasy analysts everywhere will now be telling you they've been stocking up on Brooks for weeks in best ball.
Fuck yeah. I mean, you know what's coming down the pike before it ever happens.
Of course.
Like when you
it was the first thing I thought when I was driving and I heard all about it.
When you heard that Chuba Hubbard was hurt, right? Because there's been a couple of Brooks notes over the past week because I think Canales said that he looks good and a return to form, whatever it was. And as soon as you heard that Hubbard was injured, I was like, you know what you're going to hear now? You're just going to hear everybody tell you how they all drafted him in best ball. I've been all over Brooks all summer long. All my best ball, I've been over him. Like, okay, sure. You
can have him. I want nothing to do with that.
But here's my pushback to all of that. Everybody wants to say they saw this guy. Everybody wants to be the fantasy football guy. Everybody wants to win their leagues. That's fine. I get it. But, like, there is no new opinion. Like, it's all groupthink. Like, you might think you're ahead of the curve. You're not. Because there is so many people there's two people in the backfield. Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard is not a standout running back. So as soon as you see Chuba Hubbard, you're like, I don't know, Brooks just had the ACL. He's been 2 years off. If he comes back from the ACL, maybe he takes over Hubbard and he takes that job and then he performs really well. That's a groundbreaking fucking thought. But sure enough, everybody took fucking staked their claim in it. It was like, okay.
I really don't think Chuba Hubbard even gives a shit, man. He got paid like $40 million for like a 3-year contract. He's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
About either of them. We're talking about Panther running backs. Who gives a shit? That team's going to suck.
Chuba Hubbard has actually been really good for fantasy. If you're talking fantasy,
good for fantasy. Yes, he has been. He's been productive.
He's not like a Jonathan Taylor. He's not like a Christian McCaffrey. He's he's
facts. Fair enough.
So yeah, I don't know.
But that same let me put it this way. That same approach from everybody was taken literally 24 hours prior when Kyler Murray won the starting job. And then everybody and their brother was like, Vikings gonna win the NFC North. I told you this was gonna happen. Here Vikings 11-6. Kyler Murray, top 5 fantasy quarterback. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's fine to have the opinions. I'm just saying, stop with claiming your ownership of that opinion. The world is too small, man.
That's what the world is. I mean, the world is half clickbait, half state. Well, I shouldn't say the world. I should say social media and the reporting outlets are half clickbait, half reporting what is blatantly obvious, just trying to be the first to do it.
Yeah, look, a lot of people get paid from social media. It would be great to do it. I mean, when I got out of University of Miami, I got into radio because I wanted to make money doing radio,
of course.
Right? So, I mean, I get it. I'm not knocking anybody trying to make a living and a career at it. It's fine. It's just it's like the over the top personalities that have come out of it, and all those over the top personalities are literally the same approach, which is, you heard it here first. I said it. Do you want to know where that came from? It came from this mouth right here, buddy. You want to know who had Jonathan Brooks? Rich Eggy. I had it on my ranking charts back in June. You can look it up if you ever wanted to bother. Fuck off.
It's like, here you go. Here's a post on X. The hashtag from Richard Johnson, verified. The hashtag Packers are reportedly releasing wide receiver Jaden Reed due to his first name violating the NFL's updated code of conduct. Think we could have all seen this coming. It's just pure clickbait. Click it, you want to read it.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Miami Dolphins, Jalen Wright, who wears number 5, will not play tomorrow against the Commanders out of respect to Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, those are the parody accounts, right? My algorithm's been okay. I've been able to get that kind of crap out of it. But, when you go to For You and it gives you stuff that isn't in your feed that might be of interest, that's where I get inundated with all the over-the-top takes and the, hey, you know who I am? My name is this. I'm the number one guy in this space.
Should we read the broken helmet post less than an hour ago?
I don't know. Which one was
it? Kyler Murray has done absolutely nothing as a pro for 7 seasons.
No. Okay. Hold on.
Whether you believe it or not, Sam Darnold's past 2 seasons are insanely superior to anything Murray has ever done.
Hold on.
Then again, this is Bomani Jones.
Well, see, you butchered it. That's where you did.
I know what it is. I purposely said that first without doing the intro.
Yes. So that tweet was in response to a Bomani Jones tweet where it was him, and I don't know who he was with, but the two of them were sitting there yucking it up, saying that Kyler Murray, I don't know what everybody else is thinking, but I take Kyler Murray over Sam Darnold every day. And I think Sam Darnold sucks, right? But Kyler Murray definitely sucks. That guy hasn't done anything. I was looking at his stats 2 days ago because once he won the quarterback competition, and everybody said that the Vikings were going to win the NFC North, and he was going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. I just went to his stats, and I was like, dude, he's played in the league 7 years. 7 years.
Yeah.
And has done squat. He's done nothing. Nothing. And I don't know what hill you're standing on for Kyler Murray. come on. And if you look at Sam Darnold, dude, the year in Minnesota and the year in Seattle, 2 years better than anything that Kyler Murray's ever done. And the guy won a Super Bowl. So how do you go on your podcast and start, pounding your chest for Kyler Murray? Get out of here.
There's a lot to that, I understand this is a famous argument for quarterbacks versus systems, right? Like, yes, a quarterback needs to be good, but you could plug pretty much any quarterback into specific systems and that quarterback's going to look good. Like, Jared Goff is a great system quarterback. If you put Jared Goff on the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, he's not the same Jared Goff. If you put Matthew Stafford on the Las Vegas Raiders, he'll be good. I mean, he's going to do something regardless.
For so long, dude. Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Like, Kyler Murray, probably a better overall human specimen as a talent than Sam Darnold. Darnold just found the right system and found a dude who can catch the ball no matter where you throw it. And
sure,
a bunch of guys, and a bunch of guys who, he had good running backs. He had a good offensive line. He had a dude that just is insanely good. He was, he found the right system, and credit to him, he won a Super Bowl. And yes, I would 100% take Sam Darnold over Kyler Murray at at where they are right now. If you're talking about putting them in a gym and watching them and being like, who do you want? I'm probably going to take Kyler Murray. If you're talking about like real NFL ability, probably going to take. And Murray doesn't care, dude.
Well, I'm just saying there's been 7 years of Kyler Murray. And if you want to say that, he's been in a bad system or this, you can't blame 7 years on pure system and coaching. Like, he should have at some point rose above, right? But look, if he goes to Minnesota and all of a sudden the guy looks like Joe Montana, then, I look like the asshole and you got to turn around and eat crow. But then the argument comes like, can he do it 2 years in a row? I don't know. I do not know how you look at Kyler Murray, the 7 years that he put together, and then think that just because it goes to Minnesota with O'Connell and he's got Justin Jefferson, that all of a sudden he's just going to become a standout quarterback. I just don't see it. And I don't know how
dude,
take away from Darnold's 2 years.
He is one, and this is not a stance I'm going to believe. I'm not going to think that everyone's going to agree with this, but Kyler Murray, when he had DeAndre Hopkins or somebody who's credible versus DeAndre Hopkins when he was throwing to nobody is a lot different than what he's going to now. Like, when he had DeAndre Hopkins, he was legitimately ranked as a top 6 quarterback in the league. Now he's going to where he has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, an offensive line, numerous running backs.
Well, he has a good Jennings as well. So he's got, 3.
Oh, yeah, Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, so they got 3 wide receivers plus the tight end. And plus O'Connell. Right?
There's no excuse. There's no excuse to fail.
Right. But, I don't know. Again, I'm just not going over the top for Kyler Murray just because he won the starting job, over J.J. McCarthy. Like, what? But
I drafted him as a super flex in my Scott Fishbowl league.
Yeah, well, look, he's a fantasy player that now has a pretty high ceiling because, yes, he could produce crazy numbers. Now, when you talk about actual NFL football success, I'm a little more cautious.
I'm wary. I'm wary about that.
But I'm more of a fan of him in football. Yeah, I keep eyeing him in these drafts that I keep doing. I haven't done any best ball. I'm just doing the mock drafts that you can do on any number of these sites, Fantasy Pros or PFF or whichever ones. I've been doing Fantasy Pros, but
Right.
and I always pick him up late because he just tends to sit there, right? So, and high upside, why not grab him in later rounds? So, but anyway, let's get into more of the junk. But this is where the whole thing went off the rails because I started talking about social. I have to show you this because I saw this today, and this is the part where I just wish I never got into social, and I wish I wasn't aware of the internets. As let's pull this up here. All right, so that's the fantasy football rankings. We'll get to there, but have you seen this? I'm gonna play this. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go.
Woo! This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Pats. May Day is going down. This is our team. Go Colts!
Who is this?
I don't know, dude. I have no clue. But I think he's like a thing. Like, I think he has been doing this for years and years and years. That is the first time I've ever seen that. And I wish I never had.
Gracious, dude. How dare you
And it
even...
makes me so mad because it got posted all over them. Busting the Boys retweeted it. Everybody retweeted it. It's like a thing, right? Like this kid and again, good for him, right? Like,
I mean, look, dude, the kid doesn't give a shit. He's happier than a pig in shit.
Yes. But I'm just saying I am a big believer in like the gatekeeper system that used to exist with
that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist.
Executives with the record industry, with the movie industry, with the TV industry, where it filtered out shit. And we didn't have to see any of this because it isn't worth watching.
Yeah, honestly, dude, you'll never. It's impossible because of freedom of speech and the goddamn laws that are out there now.
Democratized media, like right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll
what
never.
What you learn is the majority of people are probably just stupid and like terrible stuff, and so when you democratize it, this is what we get. We bleed blue. It was in my head, and I was like, "Oh my god, get it out of my head, get it out."
He won. I mean,
else.
It's in your head. He won.
I know. It's just.
But let's talk some real football.
All right, so here we go. Let's take it. We'll go to first down here. We're going to do 4 stories for the NFL, and we'll speed it up so that we don't take 4 hours for our first show here.
First down.
So with this one, I figured we would just go to one of the wheelhouses, even though we tend not to talk about fantasy once the season starts. We do talk it on the front end. And I think fantasy's probably the biggest story of the NFL season. Because let's be honest, gambling and fantasy are 2 of the biggest spaces within the NFL. Fantasy is just gigantic now. And if you've done any kind of drafts up to this point, and you've done your rankings, and
who's running laps at your house right now?
Oh, you can hear all that? Oh, everybody just came.
Yeah.
They just came home from the Ramsey pool, and so they're
rough
upstairs,
life.
And yeah. So they went to go to enjoy themselves, and I stayed home to do this with you because that's what we do. So anyway, but if you've done any fantasy, you have noticed that there is just a huge drop in established talent, if you will. Like those guaranteed points, those points that you would draft and you'd be like, I'm good there. You go into kind of like no man's land real quick. And I think it's just a shift, whether it partly because of the evolution of the NFL and the systems, maybe the lack of quarterbacks, whatever it might be. And, we've lost some talent over the past years here that it's kind of crazy. I'm not reassured as I'm doing these drafts that I get good teams. I get like a couple of good players, and then I feel like I always make a mistake because I feel like you can get one running back and one wide out, and that could be a guarantee. But if you go two running backs, you're kind of shot on wide receivers. If you don't take any running backs, you're kind of shot on them. Like, you can only fill a couple of holes, and then it's going to come to your superior knowledge, right? Because everybody's like,
No, it's not. It doesn't come to that.
or a little bit of
I don't.
right?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. For the past 8 to 10 years, no, I wouldn't say it. Maybe like the past 5 to 7 years, I've gone from being able to, because I kind of agree with what you're saying. I've gone to being able to feel comfortable with, I'm in 5 or 6 leagues every year, maybe a little more. I don't know, but I'm usually comfortable with it for so long, for the first 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds, to the past 5 years. After round 2, round 3, I'm like, oh, good grief. This is what's left at wide receiver. This is what's left at running back. And nobody else follows football as much as we do. And so they're like, oh, yeah, this guy's great.
I don't know if I'd say that, dude.
No, I mean, I'm talking about the people in our fantasy leagues. I don't think people.
I don't know about that either.
I study box scores. I watched all the games. I'm obsessed with the algorithms that go into.
Unless you're dot plotting, dude, you're not doing it to the umpteenth degree. So
no, I'm definitely not. I was
involved.
I was with people at the Scott Fishbowl draft that had AI'd algorithms based off of the last.
One of my upcoming points. Continue.
For the last 5 Scott Fishbowl drafts, with their scoring systems built in, with the player results and what players to choose, you should have seen the documentation these dudes had on their computers and phones. They had everything mapped out on who to pick at any given point. It kind of looked like an ADP sheet where you would just go down your ADP sheet, but it was their algorithm built into this. And every time they would click a name that was chosen, it would be eliminated. And it was crazy. It was crazy. But that is an intense level. Maybe if you're putting up a lot of money, great. But I won a national. Listen. Let me finish. I won a national guillotine league last year. I don't use AI dot plotting. Do you know what I mean? I don't do that. I won the league, and then on a national, after you win the league, you then go to nationals or the national championship, and I finished 70th out of 25,000. So I thought that was good. I won an extra $100 or something like that.
Yeah, of course. You want the
maybe those guys who won the 50,000 up front, maybe they dot plotted, but there's a certain point where all of those algorithms and all of that shit you put in doesn't matter. It doesn't, no matter what you do, because this is based off human beings. Yeah. This is based off human beings. And in any given moment, one of their family members could fall down and break a leg and they miss a game. They could take a wrong step walking out to the field and they have a tweak in their ankle. At any given moment, the quarterback could be like, that dude sucks. I hate him. They don't talk about it in the news, but Justin Jefferson, he's a fucking ass. I'm not going to throw him the ball. This dude's, he's just a schmuck. All he does is make fun of blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? There's so much that goes into it that it goes beyond what can really happen in all of the studying and algorithms and box scores you read prior to the draft. So it's different than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was a lot easier to establish a comfortable level of who you like, what we can predict, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's just like, it's changing. You know?
100%. And I think that kind of feeds into where I was going to go with this, right? Is that, you know, it's not too far down the road. There's going to be like zero arbitrage left, right? Because I'm old, whatever. I can't hide it. I turned 50 this year. I'm fucking old as shit. But I remember when I first started playing, the arbitrage was you knew football better than most people, right? And so when I started, the internet wasn't mobile. The internet was just at your house. And so, you know, I mean, you bought magazines. You printed out box scores from last year. When I ran my first league as a commissioner, it was all USA Today, taking out the sports section because the USA Today had the best box score. And then, you know, doing in the IDP, you're checking out all the numbers from offense down to defense. And so there were some people that just went in, they just bought a book, and they just were kind of like, this, that, and the rest. And there was a lot of arbitrage there, right? So you were able to pick people off because they just weren't up, you know, for the competition, you know, just because they just didn't take it seriously. And then you got into like the post-internet. And then it got into be kind of like game theory, right? So the internet came around, and then all of a sudden everybody had this information. But the apps hadn't come around quite yet, right? So you're still doing live drafts. And then it came into game theory where it was like, okay, I'm watching the board, and I'm finding out who's drafting what, where. And then I'm looking at this, and this guy's got, you know, he's stacked on this one team here. But this guy, you know, there's only two people that haven't drafted quarterbacks. So do I need to get one there? And then there was a little bit of game theory, and that's where the arbitrage kind of moved to. And now post the apps, I think that maybe the arbitrage that's left for the better players. I know some people will argue it's going to be in research and predictions and your systems and your, you know, all this data analysis that's coming into play. And maybe so. I still do pretty well, and I don't do the data analysis, right? I kind of like eye test everything. So I'm not crunching down that far. But I think what makes the better players, at least right now, are the ones that just don't make mistakes, right? When you start chasing trends, or you start drafting players you like on a team, or drafting people that are too old and you ignore the age factor, or you know, maybe you just aren't up to news. It's the mistakes kind of that separate the men from the boys right now. And obviously there are going to be people out in the internets that are going to say, no, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. It's this, and I do it, and that's why I'm great. Okay, sure. Good for you.
Yeah, I agree.
And with AI coming around, like the mistakes are going to end, because now if you look, people are putting these extensions that feed into the, like, whatever platform you're using. I've heard platform so much in the past like 2 months. But whatever platform you're using, they have these extensions that are now going to feed in the rankings, and it's just a matter of time before people aren't even drafting their teams. They're just paying X amount of dollars for an AI program to draft their team for them. And it's just going to be like AI bots. And it still won't matter, because to your point, we're talking about fucking humans. You can't predict injury, right? Like, you don't know. There's that X factor. There's a human element to it. But when the AI really does roll in, and people are just, everyday Joes are running, it's going to be nuts. It literally is going to be like lottery tickets.
I think that's going to be more for, and once again, I think you should put an asterisk here that you're really talking about for profit, like big competition games like DraftKings and NFFC and like things
too, man. Home games still.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be the same, because when it comes to home games, you're also talking about people who still have that element of, I'm drafting with Rich Eggy. I know what Rich likes to take. I'm going to try and beat him to it. You do it every single year. This dude needs a quarterback. I'm going to go take a quarterback.
Right.
AI is not going to build that in.
Well, who knows? Who knows, right? Like, AI might be looking at the same things that we like to think give us an advantage, and
maybe.
I think everything's ultimately going to become insanely even, to the point that there might be, and I don't know how you regulate it, but there might be movements to just eliminate, AI involvement. Now, I don't know how you can do that again.
Live drafts.
I mean, there might be a shift to live drafts, but live drafts are so difficult as people get older. They just are, right? I mean,
it's much easier. It was much easier 10 years ago, for sure, because we were all together. Now everybody grew up, everybody got married, had kids.
But, I mean, people, you're not going to be able to do it for the massive, I mean, unless these companies invest in, like, anti-AI extensions, which I don't think they even care about. But, maybe some of these platforms will do something where, like, oh, yeah, your home league, you want it run through here, and you want no AI, our platform scans to eliminate, AI contributions to the drafting process. Because it's really going to suck. I mean, it's just going to take the fun out of it. Like, okay, we're all paying for AI bots to draft our teams, and then it's, like, okay.
Listen, I'm never going to go that route. I have too much fun with it,
Same as I do. Same as me. I was going to go from here into the actual, like, tiers, but, in efforts of time, let's go to just, like, the next story that we got.
Yeah.
Second down.
Where I thought that probably the second story after, the fantasy, question that there is on the league is just all the change, man. Do you know how much change there was this year? 10 coaches that changed, but there were 21 new offensive coordinators. And I might even botch that by a number or two, but I'm pretty sure it's 21 offensive coordinators. And then 14 defensive coordinators. So when you're looking at that, you're looking at, whatever, on the whole, 10, 20, 31, 30, 40, 45 new coaching changes across coaches and coordinators. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I think that speaks more to, like, a generational change than it is to like what the NFL has become. I don't think you're going to see half that next year. I think it's more of like, hey, out with the old, in with the new type of thing.
Sure, because if you see that kind of change again next year, there's an issue.
There's an issue. That's
going to get zero continuity.
Yeah, and that doesn't, like, look at the most successful programs over the years. They've always had the same head coach, different coordinators, but they've always had the same head coach, similar players, similar personnel. Like, that's what's led to success is staying in a system and seeing how it works. It's the same that goes true with most businesses, right? Like, if you're only seeking the get rich quick scheme, you're probably going to fail, and you're going to keep switching over and over and over until you find something that's comfortable. If you buy in and put the effort in and go for the steady growth, you're going to be good eventually, right? That's just, I think that's just best business practices, like,
sure,
to find success. But everybody in this era of, I can't watch a video for more than 3 seconds before flipping to the next video. It's that jolt. Everybody's seeking that instant gratification. And I just don't think you're going to find it if you're going to switch your offensive coordinator every year, bring in a new playbook, and have seven new head coaches in 10 years. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, well, the tolerance for failure is definitely infinitely less, right? I mean, you're seeing coaches just get blown out after a year. And
Yep.
sometimes it's warranted, but I think there was a lot more patience previously where it was, well, you got to give it a couple of years, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Ravens, which was one of the teams, out goes Harbaugh and they bring in Minter, right? And they're just going to change it because, I mean, Harbaugh had been there forever, and how long are you just going to keep him there and not see the same results before you're just like, you know what, it's time. It's time. And then you look at the Giants who, they changed, coaches every 3 years over and over and over again. And then they were trying to write it out with Daboll, and they were just like, nah, it didn't work, right? Like, it didn't work, and we got to blow him out. So, look at the Jets now. They should have gotten rid of Glenn last year, right? But I guess, what's the point? Because you're going to be terrible again this year. So why?
Oh, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care. They're
Well,
waiting until 2027.
But I think there's also something to be said of why are we going to blow out Glenn if we're going to suck anyway? Because then the new coach is just going to have 1 year lost of goodwill. You get in there, you probably get 3 years from the fans that are like, all right, we'll tolerate it. We'll see what happens. Unless you're really terrible, right? And you're doing a Gerard Mayo and you're doing 1 year. But, or Raheem Morris, he did a year down in Atlanta. But, you bring in a new Jets coach, you're going to be bad this year, and then everybody's going to be like, that coach sucks. Some people be like, yeah, well, the roster isn't great either. But why not just keep Glenn and let him twist in the wind, and then we'll just get a new guy, next year. But, I mean, you look at the biggest changes, right? The Bills. Look at the best teams that kind of the Bills and the Ravens, right? They get rid of their old coach, they bring new ones in. Brady in for the Bills, Minter in for the Ravens. Then you see like wholesale changes. The Giants, they brought Harbaugh in. Daboll gets booted. The Steelers, obviously, they bring in McCarthy, which I still can't believe. Can you believe they brought him in?
McCarthy's like, this is amazing, and everyone else is just like, did you just hire Mike McCarthy?
How did that happen? How the fuck did that happen?
I have no. He's a 1 year layover. He's a 1 year layover.
Would I ever have thought that Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy would be on the same team together in Pittsburgh, nonetheless? Right? I mean, but Tomlin just pissed out because he wanted to get ahead of it.
Tomlin's great, man. Tomlin will be fine. Dude, he'll get offered another job next year.
Yeah, unless he does the Cowher thing and he just starts doing TV thinking he's going to go back, and then he's like, no, I like this TV thing a lot more, so screw going back. I don't need
Cowher's great. I like Cowher on TV.
He's all right. I mean, he's been around for a while. I think they could definitely use a lot of new blood across the NFL, especially Fox. But you be careful what you ask for, because sometimes they're giving you new guys like Peter Schrager and everybody in ESPN. I'm just kind of like, oh.
All right, we're not getting back down this rabbit hole.
Anyway, so going back, but, Dolphins, that was a full redo. They're going the Green Bay route, so they bring in
my Raiders,
all the Packers, your Raiders. Cardinals were a teardown as well. But there's crazy, divisional. I'm just rip through these real quick. The AFC East, do you want to take a stab at how many coaches, whether head coach or coordinators, returned from last year in the AFC East entirely?
Probably. I'm gonna say 3, because there's Vrabel, the offensive coordinator, and Aaron Glenn.
Congratulations. That's what you're pretty good. You're pretty good. Yes, it was 3. 3. That was all that came back from the AFC East. AFC North. You want to take a stab?
0-0. Oh, no. He came back. Oh, no. He left because they got all 3. Oh, he stayed. So that's 1. That's 2. And then they kept all of them. So I'm going to say 5.
Unless I'm wrong, 3. The Bengals came back. Everybody else is out. Everybody else is replaced.
Mm,
Ravens replaced their all three. Browns replaced all three.
no, they didn't. Browns kept their defensive coordinator, didn't they?
Is Rutenberg from last year? I didn't think so.
Oh, maybe not.
And then McCarthy changed all three.
He did?
Yeah.
I thought he kept.
No, Graham came in from the Raiders, right? Graham was your DC last year.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, I thought it was 5. I knew the Bengals kept everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check. I was almost positive because when I was looking this up and scratching the numbers. But again, AFC North, if I'm right, 3 people, just the Bengals. AFC North
AFC South was probably 4 or 5.
AFC South was kind of
5.
quiet. Kind of quiet. They returned the Texans, Colts, and Jaguars. All 3 coaching staffs remained the same. They just flipped the Titans. Salo came in.
Titans flipped.
Yeah. Jaguars stayed the same.
Jags stayed the same. Oh, I could have sworn the Texans got. Oh, okay.
Caley on offense and Burke on defense. I'm almost positive they were the same guys.
Dude,
but I mean, Ryan runs the defense anyway.
Speaking of changes, speaking of just conferences that are horrible and just amazing and horrible at the same time, the NFC West. Do you know what the odds are for the Arizona Cardinals to win the division?
Somebody was talking about it. I don't know if it was Sharp or Square, if it was those 2 guys. But I was listening to somebody talk about it recently because they threw it out there, and whoever it was like, oh, well, plus, I don't know.
10,000 to 1.
Was it 10,000? So, and somebody was saying, or maybe I heard them talking about the Cardinals winning the division, which wasn't as much. And they were talking about another team too, that they were talking about them winning the division, and it was like a dark horse that you're kind of like, really?
It was like, you gotta be kidding. I was like, how is this?
Browns?
How is that real?
Yeah, they were talking about it, and it was just, I was like, no, it's not going to happen. But, well, the AFC West, or the NFC West, NFC West has 3 of 4 new offensive coordinators. The AFC West has 4 new offensive coordinators. Every team got a new offensive coordinator. Davis Webb, Eric Bieniemy, Andrew Janocko, if I pronounce that right, your guy, and then Mike McDaniel. Who obviously left Miami and is now at the Chargers, and he's getting more social media time than Harbaugh, as everybody just loves him because he's just so aloof. And then
they bet the Cardinals down. They're now down to plus 3-2-3-3.
Yeah, all right. So, and then the NFC West had 3 or 4 offensive coordinators. NFC East 3 or 4 new coordinators. And then the Chargers made big changes with O'Leary on defense and McDaniel on offense. So a lot of new change across the NFL landscape, which brings me to third down.
Third down.
Speaking of divisions themselves, the NFC North is still a mess. And now with Kyler Murray, I mean, you would think that the Bears are in the lead, right? They're the leader in the clubhouse.
No, they're not.
You think it's the Lions still?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're not. Last year, I won $600 on them winning that division.
With what?
They ain't going to win it
with the Bears.
With the Bears, right. Yeah. Now the Lions are less than 2-1.
Well, are the Lions? I haven't looked at the odds yet because I figured we would do that in a future pod. But
yeah,
I would imagine the Bears are the top seed right now.
Third choice.
The Bears are the third choice?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll
Crazy, right?
Well, I'll just open up I'm not going to go to the screen share. I'll just open up the FanDuel app right now. So who's won?
The Lions, less than 2-1.
Really?
Packers are second at 2.5-1, and the Bears are a little over 3-1.
Let's see. NFL. That's the regular season winner. NFC North. So here we go. Lions are plus 150. Packers are plus 260, and the Bears are plus 340.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm utterly shocked.
They hate the Bears.
How don't you pound the Bears? I understand defense not fantastic. But maybe if you're in Jordan, but Caleb Williams, as much as I doubt him, the guy's the best quarterback in the division at this point, I think. I mean, he had a phenomenal year last year. I mean, he was at some point he was all over the map, but damn, the guy just gets shit done sometimes.
Dude, they got the fucking Ravens at plus 122. It's wild.
Packers, well, just stay in the NFC North right now. What have the Packers done that would make you think that they have a better shot of winning that division than the Bears? And I guess we'd have to go into the schedules, but screw it. These guys play each other twice a year.
Dude, I think the Packers would be the last on this list, to be honest.
I was going to go into my next question to you was who do you think is going to be the last one in the division? And I was going to say the Packers or the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings. I don't foresee Green Bay being good. I mean, they'll be fine, but they're not going to be. That division's way too good, dude.
The Lions took such a step. Well, I shouldn't say such a step back, but the Lions took a step back last year without Ben Johnson running their offense. And I don't know. And now this is going to be the second year of Ben Johnson running the Bears offense. And I would think that you would expect more out of the Bears and even less out of the Lions. But
they really don't like the Bears defense. Nobody likes the Bears defense.
Very understandable, right?
Yeah.
They should have done more. But it is like an offensive league, dude. Right?
Honestly, dude, I am going to hammer. There's a couple things I'm going to hammer. We'll talk about this on a later pod like you were talking about, but Cincinnati at like plus 1,000 to win the conference, that's absurd to me. Like that, you could easily hit that. All of these odds are so good right now. This is the time to hit it.
Well, Cincinnati at plus 170 to win the AFC North, I don't know, who cares? The Ravens are plus 100. I think that's kind of a coin flip between the two of them.
Yeah, that's just stupid. That's a waste of money.
If you were going to invest in the Bengals at plus 170 to win the AFC North, wouldn't you rather go in on the Bears at plus 340?
Of course.
Right?
That's a stupid bet. You're gonna waste that. What are you gonna bet? You got to bet $10,000 to win money.
I mean, the last team I'm betting on here is the Lions at plus 150. I think that's terrible value.
I'm not betting any of them.
I would bet the Bears. I bet the Bears at plus 340.
100 to win 440. Yeah, give me that. Give me 1,000 to win 4,400.
Yeah, that's amazing to me that they're in third plus 340.
There's obviously more to.
They really hate the defense.
They hate it. Vegas hates it. The algorithms have told them no. But I mean,
the Packers have not gotten anything done in this LaFleur Love era yet.
They were undefeated. They were undefeated with Micah Parsons, and they were defeated without him. Like they did not win a game without Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I know.
So they're assuming
he's coming back off the injury. You don't know what he's going to be like coming back from it. They lost Rashawn Gary, right? Gary was
such a fucking that could not have been a worse situation for the Packers to lose him.
I don't know. You can't pin it on one guy. I mean, obviously, they traded a lot for him, so yeah, you do want to pin it on one guy. But the issues that I see with Green Bay aren't that. Whatever that offense is and whatever Love is supposed to be, I just don't think that there is the continuity and production that you'd want to see, out of that team. And then they had the Josh Jacobs things that could have been a goddamn disaster. Thank God that they were able to avoid that bullet.
Not for nothing. I think the Lions are really good. I wouldn't underestimate them, but I would not put them at. I would rather see them. I think should be more even. It's probably like plus 180 each or plus 200 each. This dramatic difference between plus 340 and plus 120 is absurd to me.
The Lions at plus 150 and the Packers at plus 260. So even between 1 and 2, I just think that's crazy for the NFC North.
No, yeah,
that's crazy.
But hey, we could do our next show can be literally breaking that up.
All right. So NFC North is kind of a mess, and then the fourth story.
Fourth down.
Here's the deal: the NFC North, if you look at it, or not the NFC North, sorry, the NFC is the better of the two conferences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you were to ask anybody, top two teams, who do you have as the top two teams
in the whole league?
Yeah, the whole league.
Probably the Bills and the Rams.
Okay, I would say the Rams and the Seahawks. Right, I'm surprised you said the Bills because I think they got weaknesses there. But would you go like Eagles after that? I know Jalen Hurts is this big, the question mark and all that kind of stuff, but everything else about that team is still, pretty solid.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't discount.
Put it that way.
I would probably put the Bills, the Rams, the Eagles, and then maybe the Chiefs.
No Seahawk love, huh?
Oh, I don't believe in them.
Wow. That's crazy.
I don't.
I think that program is solid. Darnold could implode. I get it. But the rest of that program is pretty solid.
They're good. I'm not discounting them, but I have a feeling that once Kansas City has what's his name up to speed, Mahomes up to speed, and he's fully healthy, I think they're probably going to be the best team in the league.
All right.
Now, with that all said, I'm not actually picking them. I'm gonna pick somebody off that board to essentially upset everybody, and that's the Bengals. I actually think the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, you think it's going to be all about defense, right? Now that they've gotten sexy Dexy, it's all going to come together.
Who, the Bengals?
He's the one thing they needed.
No,
look,
he's not the one.
Was great. He was fantastic. But a nose tackle does not make a defense. And the guy.
I'm not betting them. I'm not betting them because of their defense. I'm betting on them all staying healthy and having the best offense.
Just outscoring everybody.
They're after listening to scheduling podcasts and looking at it myself, like they have one of the easiest schedules. They're like favored in every game.
You know what's funny is as I'm looking at the odds here, because like I said, we'll do this in the super future pod, but trying to get a litmus test for the league. Because if you ask me, I think Rams and the Seahawks, right? The Rams are number one by far just because they loaded their team. The Seahawks, I think you have to give it to them because they didn't really lose that much. It's a great program, and they won the Super Bowl last year. And then if you go to 3, probably a toss-up between the Eagles and the Bills, in my opinion. Granted, Hurts is a question mark, but going to the odds, it's probably because my question was going to be like, does the AFC somehow overtake the NFC this year? And looking at the odds, I mean, it's kind of a lot of AFC. It's Rams, Bills, Seahawks, Ravens. Those are the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's the Pats, Chargers, Chiefs, and Texans. It's actually like all AFC teams. And then the Lions are an extra 100 over the Texans. And then it goes Lions, Eagles, 49ers, your Bengals there at plus 2,000. Broncos all the way down there. No faith in the Broncos, their schedule, nor Bo Nix. And then the Packers. But I'm just amazed looking at this in real time right now that I never would have thought that would have been the pecking order for.
DraftKings actually has Super Bowl winner. These teams are all tied at plus 1,900. Ready? You got the Bears, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Packers, the Patriots, and the Texans. They're all tied at plus 1,900.
Wow. There's such difference in odds. I'm looking at FanDuel. And they're all at plus what?
1,900 to win the Super Bowl.
Wow. Everybody down to 49ers is above plus 9. How do you put the 49ers at plus 1,800? Equal.
Oh, dude, they have
49ers.
The DraftKings has these 8 teams tied at plus 1,600. 49ers, Broncos, Chargers, Cowboys, Eagles, Lions, and Ravens, all tied at plus 1,600.
The Ravens' defense was so bad last year.
Oh, I don't know how they're getting so much love, dude. People can bet them all they want. I have zero interest in that team.
No, I don't have zero interest. I didn't think that after what they've seen and the Lamar Jackson. I mean, look, people can talk up Lamar Jackson all they want. If you've ever heard this podcast, and judging by the numbers, you haven't, that we're not uber fans of Lamar Jackson. Like, yeah, he's
Lamar
great.
Jackson
I
fucking
would
sucks.
like him as my Giants quarterback for the past 6-7 years rather than what I've gotten. However, I don't think that Lamar Jackson is going to get it done. And he's another quarterback that's kind of falling into the same thing as Kyler Murray, where it's never his fault. It's always something else. And at a certain point, it's not. It's not. It's you. It's not somebody else's fault. It's you. But anyway, the Ravens being up there, and then the Chargers, I'm kind of excited about. The Chiefs, I feel like probably should be lower. Because that Chiefs team, they didn't really do a whole hell of a lot to, Kenneth Walker, K9. I am surprised at the love K9's getting, going all the way back to first down and fantasy, at the love K9's getting for the Chiefs, and how
they love him.
How people think that this is going to just change the whole fabric of the Chief team. Like, what?
Yeah.
This guy never plays a full season. You got him.
I mean, at that same point, he's never been on a team where he's been the only guy.
Sure. Fair enough. Then Pacheco goes and he takes over the Montgomery role. Montgomery goes to the Texans. Obviously, the Texans.
He's old now. They just want him. They just wanted Montgomery for the touchdown ability. Like, he's just going to score touchdowns.
If CJ Stroud, returns
poor guy,
more so to his rookie year rather than the decline that he suffered over the past 2. But let's say he gets back to that rookie form.
No, 2 years ago he was good. Last year he sucked.
Well, no, his second year also was a step down. His rookie year was he was great. And then he took a step down year 2, and then year 3, it was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But, I mean, if he could just right the ship a little bit, that Texans team, that defense, like, they could kick a lot of ass. Right?
Texans will be good. CJ Stroud just needs to be better.
Yeah, Texans at plus 1,700 here. They're tied with the Chiefs and the Chargers.
They're not gonna. He's on a short leash, man. If by game like 6 they're 2-4 with like horrible losses, they'll bench him and put some Joe Schmo in who just throws the ball to Nico Collins. And I'm so sorry, I gotta cut you short here. I got like 2 minutes here. I gotta finish up.
We'll wrap it up. I was just gonna say, because the last 2 teams, I was Bears at plus 2,700 and Jaguars at plus 3,000. Kind of like, again, we'll talk about that down the road. But I was just looking and I was like, oh, I don't know, those are kind of worth stabs. But so I don't know. I kind of thought it was going to be, the AFC fighting to take over the NFC this year. But looking at it, I'm the minority opinion in that one, because a lot of people love these AFC teams, with exception.
I think the AFC is going to wind up having an easier. They might look better on paper because I think the NFC is a better team. Therefore, their opponents are going to be tougher. Their interdivisional games are going to be tougher. But I'm in agreement with you. I still think the NFC holds. Regardless of what Vegas believes via their numbers, I still think the NFC is a better conference, and ultimately they'll probably win the championship. But I'm going to be rooting and betting for some AFC teams because the value's better there.
Fair. Well, all right, you got to go. We've been doing this for about an hour, so let's put a pin in it, pick it up, down the road after we figure out where we're going next. We'll talk about a little fantasy. We'll do a little betting, all the rest of it. But to everybody else, thank you for tuning in. And then we'll get another one up here in the next week or so. We'll let you know. Just follow my terrible Twitter feed, and I'll tell you when we're coming.
Yeah, just follow Broken Alvin on X. You'll get all the info you need.
All right. See you, everybody. Howdy.
Adios.